That's better. Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Homelite Ranger chainsaw. I don't even remember what the complaint was on it. We'll figure it out once we get into it. You know, when I pulled the work order on this and I walked over to the inbound shelf, I'm looking at it and it says Ranger chainsaw. And I thought it said Rancher. I couldn't find this thing. I'm looking for something orange. In fact, this is the first time I ever worked on a Homelite Ranger chainsaw. It's a super massive piece of, but I'm sure it cuts wood. So what do we got? We got spark. There, now we're gonna have spark. Helps if we turn the switch on. And whatever spark plug they got in there seems to be okay. You know, a lot of the repairs that I get, that's the one thing. There's two things: the spark plug and the air filter. If the homeowner can't fix it with the spark plug and the air filter, then they bring it in for us to look at. So a lot of times there'll be a new spark plug in the saw, and a lot of times it'll be the wrong spark plug in the saw. So they really don't save any money by doing it that way. I can tell you that the problem is with the fuel though, because that fuel that was in there just about made me heave. It was pretty bad. So the carburetor is going to come off of here and we'll look at the metering diaphragm. It's probably all jacked up, stiff, whatever. This carburetor comes off just like most chainsaw carburetors. Two 8mm nuts. Actually, these aren't 8mm. They were something else now that I think of it. Because I either grabbed the 8mm and they didn't fit, or I didn't grab the 8mm by mistake. Either way. Why don't we play along and see how many times I pick up a scrunch and use it as a pry bar? Because I think it happens a number of times in this video. Alright, in order to get that little guide plate off the side of the carburetor that your adjustment screwdriver goes through, got to remove the starter. So there, off it comes. Let's grab a scrunch. Pop the fuel lines off. There's one. Don't be shy. There, come on. There you go. Never worked on one of these before. So I kind of have to look around here on some things like this throttle linkage and see if how it comes apart. Pretty simple, really. There's a clip that holds the choke lever linkage in place. That was pretty simple. This whole thing is really quite easy to work on. Now that I said that, it won't come off of here. Carb won't come off. Grab a scrunch and get it off of there. There you go. That's my special scrunch with the red paint on it. Yep, looks good. Always like to take a peek in the cylinder, and you know, if the piston's down, you can see the intake side of the skirt, see if it's worn. If you roll the piston up, you can usually see all the way through to the exhaust side, see if it's scored or not. What does our fuel pump look like? The pump looks good, but the micro screen has got a bunch of scum built up in it. Probably some of that pond scum I was smelling when I pulled the fuel cap off. How about the metering diaphragm? What does that look like? I like using a razor blade for popping these off. This thing is stiff. And certainly the reason that this won't run. So I'll do a quickie carb rebuild. I think I skipped the actual rebuild part of it, but ooh, Circus is back in town. It got a full kit, and the high and low speed jets came out, and it went through the ultrasonic cleaner. I don't always do that, but in this case, I felt it was justified. Now, we're going to pop the fuel filter off of here and put a new one on. That thing looks terrible. And for whatever reason, I palmed the filter and I ain't showing you what style I'm putting back in there, but there it is. Alright. Do a little cleaning and maintenance on the way through this carb rebuild. Anytime you see something that needs to be cleaned, while you're at it, grab it and clean it, right? Throttle linkage goes back on. Pretty simple stuff. We're just going to work in reverse order now. This would be a good place for a joke. Let me see if I got a joke for you. So I think somebody added more dirt to my vegetable garden. The plot thickens. Alright, what are we doing? We're putting that little pin back in the choke linkage. We're going to use our surgical tools here to make sure we get this in accurately. Why is it so cheap to throw a party at a haunted house? Because the ghosts bring all the booze. That joke might bring on some booze too.
What are you listening to? Nobody. It's just headphones. I'm trying not to listen to that whole half of the shop.
This guy really doesn't seem to be in a hurry, does he? Probably getting paid by the hour. Alright, we got our 33cc engine starter back in place. Looks good. Let's put the air filter holder back on. I'm trying to figure out where I am in this video. Looks like we got a long way to go yet. I don't know what we're doing. Air filter's back on. Let's go! Tell you what, I'm just going to wrap this up. That's all I got for you on the Homelite Ranger chainsaw carb rebuild. Thanks for watching. Later. it.